that? A giant emu and baby emus? Can you get white ostriches? Hello, hello. Welcome to a trail run. I sort of know where I'm going. I've basically been dropped off at the top of a hill and I'm going to run home. A linear route. Run into linear routes. The video this week was supposed to be a beautiful video of bikepacking in Tuscany. Tuscany, Italy. Ooh. On a route between Rome and Florence. What is it? Well, it's a trail running video in sunny Devon, UK. So I did actually go to Tuscany, but I arrived and unfortunately one of my wisdom teeth, which has never caused any problems before, none of my teeth have caused any problems before, I don't even have a filling. One of my wisdom teeth decided to be a terrible companion, and I was struck down with a huge amount of pain, went onto antibiotics, all that kind of stuff. Didn't eat any Italian food, mainly lived off smoothies and avocado, but hey ho, there you go. I've missed out on other opportunities in life and I survived. So cycling in Tuscany will have to wait for another day. But I've been back for less than 24 hours in the country. I haven't run in like 10 days or something. I haven't cycled at all in about the same, maybe a bit more. I haven't done anything really because I was in so much pain and just generally recovering. So this is a 13-kilometre trail run, which is arguably too far for my running history of late. But I have a 10k race, trail race here in a couple of weeks time, and I'm just gonna walk this one really. I'm gonna take it really easy. So the first bit is trail, then it's down a hill along a lane for quite a long time, and then it's very undulating for like the second half of it or something. So I'm just going to take a very easy trail run, and this is one of the reasons why I love having more than one sport, is that when you can't cycle, and I can cycle, there's nothing to stop me cycling today, but I just felt like running, and both give me the same amount of joy, just in slightly different ways. But you need a lot less focus when you're running, or I do anyway, trail running, because I'm just by myself on the trails. It's really beautiful, chill, there's obviously no traffic, there's no cars, and I can really just get into my body. It's hard enough for me to be focusing on the running itself, or you know, what's around me, which is very pretty today. Whereas with cycling, while I love it and it gives me an enormous sense of freedom, you also have to, you know, pay attention to quite a lot because you're obviously going so much faster. There might be cars or walkers or anything, and when you are cycling, obviously you can do a lot more damage. So there's something about running that I find it physically harder to run, I guess. You don't get the breaks that you do when you're freewheeling on a bike, but mentally I actually find it pretty relaxing. Oh, I know exactly where I am. Oh, but I've never been to a trail across this road. Where am I going this way? Oh, I've cycled down this road loads of times because it's on my commute from my co-working space, but I've never run across it or been on this trail. I love a new trail, not a new trail to me, and I love it especially, look at this. I love it even more so when it's like in my local area and I've lived here for years. There are deer prints everywhere. But this forest can still surprise me with all the cool little trails that are just completely secret to me until I plan a route home that I would never normally do. And then suddenly I see all these new trails. This is actually a cycle trail. This is one of the one of the blue mountain bike trails, which I've also ridden and filmed 100 times. It is so cool. I would absolutely love to run the mountain bike trails here one day, but you can pretty much only do it. I mean, they are often really quiet, but I would only really want to do it at a time when I knew there weren't going to be any cyclists on it. So I guess evening, late evening, or in the morning, like quite early, so it's just unlikely. I mean, on a weekday, I suppose, but I'm also have a job, so we'll see. It's the middle of September, and I tell you what, after spending the last week in 33, 34 degree heat with 92% humidity, I'm actually kind of enjoying the fact that I've basically returned to autumn. Must be a rule somewhere that says trail shoes can't stay clean for too long. Ooh. It's good to feel balanced, this early autumn trail running. I tell you what, you're just thinking it sounds a bit strange that I say after not running for a while, 10 days, but I mean, before that I was running like 5, 6, 7 kilometres. If you think I'm a bit mad or arrogant or whatever to suddenly be running 13 kilometres. Where do I go now? Up here? Ooh. If you think I'm mad to suddenly be running 13 kilometres, look at what I'm doing now. I'm walking up a really steep hill. This is why I love trail running so much, because you can take on longer distances in a way you can't on road. This is a mountain bike trail. In a way that you can't on road, because on road you just don't have the variation of terrain. You'd have to really like consciously stop and start, which can be really difficult. Whereas on trail, because of the obstacles like bogs or tree trunks or really steep sections or whatever, you get to walk loads. And it makes so much more sense, trail running, to walk, run, you know, whatever. So much more variation in pace, in terrain, and it makes it a lot more manageable. Like in Rome, one day I took loads of painkillers and walked 35,000 steps around the city and around the Vatican museums. That's a really long way. That's much further than I'm running today. And yet, if I said that to somebody, like might spend the whole day walking around Rome, they wouldn't bat an eyelid. But if I said I'm going for a 13-kilometre run, suddenly people are like, oh, that sounds difficult. And it is difficult, obviously. My heart rate's a hell of a lot higher now than it would be if I was walking around Rome, even in 33 degree heat. But the great thing in running, specifically trail running, just stop and walk. Just stop and walk when you want to. That's part of it. Trail running does not mean running 100% of the time. That's just not what it is. You speak to any ultra runner, any long distance trail runner, and they will be walking a hell of a lot of the time. I'm in a bracken patch. Ooh. Went off the trail, following a trail that wasn't a trail. That's better. It's getting to the end of the sort of major summer race season, which I have not partaken in this year, particularly in any sport. It means I'm getting around to thinking about what to do next year. And if you do races, maybe you've always been in the same thing where you like, it's almost like the pressure is lifted off because it's coming into autumn. So there aren't that many races left, cycling wise anyway, or triathlon. Obviously running events stay throughout the year. Yeah, the pressure comes off because you're like, well, I'm not doing any events this year, for the remaining of this year. Nothing really that I need to train for. And so the comfort starts seeping in where you're like, what should I do next year? Why didn't I do? And then you start listing massive events because you know you've got ages to train. And your brain is just like, oh, I'll be fit enough by then, I'll be fit enough by next year. And it's just the same pattern every year of like sucking me into this, browsing the internet for big events that currently I could not do. But because autumn, winter are coming, then I know I've got a lot of time to train. Whether I'll train is obviously another conversation. So the one I'm currently thinking about, and the entries aren't open yet, but the date is around for next year, the entries just aren't open, is the Dartmoor Classic. And this is windy. Why have I wandered into wind? So the Dartmoor Classic, yeah, really hilly, really long. The Piccolo route, the smallest route, oh, I want to say it's 68 kilometres. 62 kilometres, something like that. Again, really hilly. The Medio route is, I think the Medio route is 68 miles, so kilometres, like 110 kilometres, I think it is. Brutally hilly. That's the one I think I would go for were I to sign up. I've never done it before. I've never signed up. I've never even contemplated signing up before because it looks so difficult. And because every year, it's on a Sunday, every year I'm obviously out and about on Sundays and I see the Dartmoor Classic cyclists because they go really close to where I live. And so I remember thinking every year, oh, I'm really glad I'm not doing that this morning. And so I've never actually really wanted to do it because on the day I'm always like, cozy Sunday, go for a chill run or a bike ride, and I see these people on this absolutely brutal cycle and it just doesn't inspire me. But if you thought like that all the time, you'd never do anything. And literally every day I've had a triathlon, I've also thought much rather still be in bed. But you've just got to do these things, right? I think next year will be the year of the cycling sportive / audax / cool, things like that. I've never really done them before and just really want to give it a go. Just over halfway, so I've come down the big hill and then I'm going to go further down into the bottom of the valley and up over the next big hill. I'm going to try and zoom in, but you might not be able to see them. There are emus in this field. At least I think they are. They're bright white and one of them is massive. I'm sure they're emus though. I didn't know the adults could get that big. Like ostrich size. It's not an ostrich though. Is that a giant emu and baby emus? Can you get white ostriches? Rhea. It's a rhea. They're rheas. I wish they were over here. Poet and I didn't know it. Rheas lay big eggs. And they are massive. I wonder how hard it is to rear a rhea. Oh, I'm so funny. I'm so funny. I'm so funny. People don't know that about me, but I am incredibly funny. This is the River Tean. Just had to run an extremely horrible, I'm gonna say 20 metres, maybe 30 metres of a 60-mile-an-hour road, but it's a double bend in the road, and it's really bright but also really shadowy depending on obviously what side of the road you're on or whatever. It's just so dangerous. There's not really a verge, so if you're running along it, there's no other way. There is no other way. It's really short, as I said, like 20-30 metres. I'd forgotten how much this hill just never ends. So just ticked over 10 kilometres. Got 4 to go, 3.8 to go. Hour and a half. Pretty nice. Trail running is just, it's so lush. I mean, to be fair, only about a third of this is trail, most of it's lanes, but the lanes are so gravelly you could call them trails. If I was running a 10k race, I'd be looking to, you know, run it under, I don't know, 55 or something. Even if it's a like gentle trail race. But on a route like this, you can really find that it's amazingly restorative because you're not in a rush, you don't have a time to get anywhere. You can just walk up the hills, jog, do whatever you like. I think I'm at the top. Well, you can actually go onwards, but not in the direction that I want to go in. Okay, I'm getting a bit hungry now. Damn it. I do have like a trek bar with me, and I was gonna eat it, but I really wasn't hungry halfway. And so I just thought, oh, I'll probably won't be hungry when I finish it as well, or rather I'll be getting hungry when I finish it. I won't have it, even though I know that doing this kind of thing you should eat before you're hungry, because when you're hungry it's a bit too late. So I've let myself down, but got just under 3 kilometres to go, and it's mostly downhill. And should I eat? I'll eat a little bit. I'll eat a little bit. Really nice. Pretty nice. I'm well aware that this does not look in any way steep on camera, but it is really steep. And this will take me all the way down into the next valley. My keys are rattling in my bag. Or I can stop, have a drink, have a shower, and have something to eat. And I feel pretty restored. I feel knackered. I woke up at 5 AM yesterday to fly home, but I think a nice gentle run is exactly what I needed. So I'll be back to bike content soon, so stay tuned for that. See ya!